Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a live happening right here in the heart of the all-American city. You are looking at a live helicopter shot of the top of a gigantic mushroom of balloons to be released at 2 p.m. And this is only one of 4 cameras we'll be using to cover this event. Our second camera, here at ground level, shows you the bottom of this giant mushroom of 1.5 to 2 million balloons. From our third vantage point, high atop 1 Euclid Square, thanks to Peter Paris of West Terrace Incorporated, we'll be showing you the liftoff at approximately 2 p.m. The excitement down here, folks, is unreal.
Oh, wait a minute.
Back to our helicopter shot. People are gathering. It is one of the most exciting things I've ever been a part of. Hi, I'm Chuck Shadowski. On behalf of Little John and myself and TV8, welcome, like I said, to perhaps the most exciting Big Chuck and Little John show ever. Now, even as I speak, my partner Little John is underneath this giant mushroom of balloons right smack in the middle of Public Square. Can you hear me, John?
All right, how you doing? As you can see, I am inside the giant mushroom, and that is the awesome view that I see. Right up on top there in this awesome structure is all the balloons. And I want to tell you, the balloon that we're inside is 4 stories high, 200 feet wide by 200 feet long, and they have been blown up by all these Greater Cleveland students here in Cleveland. And I have a student right here, and what's your name?
Annette.
Annette, and how long have you been here since?
Since 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock this morning?
Yes.
Okay, and about how many kids have been here?
2,500.
2,500 kids? And about how long does it take to blow up a balloon?
About 8 hours.
Oh, that'll be the total. But I've been watching these kids. It takes approximately about 30 seconds for each balloon, 20 to 30 seconds. So they only get to blow up like 3 a minute. Okay. Also, I want to tell you that they have fed these kids in here, and they're keeping things going with WMMS, pounding the music out, and they're really having a good time. Would you do this again next year?
Yes.
And you having a good time?
Yes, I am.
Do you know what the old world record was, Guinness Book of Record?
I don't know.
Do you know?
500,000 million.
It was 1.2 million. And do you know what we're trying for today? 1.5 million or above. And I think they're going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great happening, and it's right here in downtown Cleveland. What do you think about that, Chuck?
Thank you, John. I'll tell you what, the North Ridgeville High School Band is down here, and they're really making a lot of music. And it's the excitement, like I said, is so thick down here you can cut it with a knife. So bear with us if we're a little sloppy with our camera work and our communications, because, as I said, this is very, very exciting. You still have time to get down here, folks. I'd like to welcome you. We have a great show for you. Our movie is The Invisible Man. We have some funny skits, but of course the big happening is the attempt at breaking the Guinness Book of World Record 1.5 to 2 million balloon release just a little bit after 2 o'clock. So stay with us, folks. Don't miss this. Right now, on with the show. Okay, folks, welcome back. You are looking at our live helicopter shot of right smack in the middle of Public Square here in downtown Cleveland, the all-American city. Welcome back. As I said, you're watching The Invisible Man, a pretty good movie for this gorgeous afternoon of September 27th, which, by the way, defies all weather predictions, John, because this is Cleveland, and the whole country is here today. All the networks, CNN, all the cables companies are here, and also with us is Sid Smith, the assistant editor of the Guinness Book of World Records. Sid, welcome to Cleveland.
Thank you.
Welcome, Sid. Why don't you tell everybody out there, why are you here?
Well, I was invited by Treb Heining to observe this beautiful event of what we hope is going to be a world record balloon release.
Okay. Do you authenticate the actual number of balloons and everything?
We only authenticate it and verify it when we subsequently receive materials from the United Way and/or Treb, who will send us whatever documentation they could possibly send us in the way of how many balloons they started out with, the final count of breakage, and if they send us a figure that exceeds the figure that's going into the 1987 book, they've broken a record.
Very good. And how does it look so far? Have you been in there?
I've been in there over and over again. It looks fantastic.
You think they're going to do it?
I think so. I hope so.
Sid, do you know that we almost lost it last night? You were here last night, I assume.
Yes,
It was a
yes.
big storm, went through Cleveland, and the mounted policeman behind me told me that about, when was it, 2 o'clock in the morning or so, 3 o'clock, the wind ripped part of that away, and they thought they were going to have to cancel today, but they sent in an emergency group, a team, and they got it all back together. And then about 5 o'clock this morning, a hole broke right smack in the middle and the top of that big bubble. And they got the fire department, Cleveland Fire Department, came down here with one of these huge ladders and laid men over the top, and they actually sewed it together. So it's been exciting, and it almost didn't go off. It didn't go off yet, and it might not, but we doubt that because the weather is fine, and we have a beautiful crowd down here, and this is, like I said, it's one of the most exciting things I've ever been a part of.
Is this your first time in Cleveland, Sid?
Yes, it is. Sure is.
And what do you think of it so far?
Well, I haven't seen much of the city, just having gotten in at 9 o'clock last night and being here all day, but I've met a lot of nice people.
Oh, okay. Hey, since you work for the Guinness Book of Records in it, I'm sure you get a lot of crazy things that people write in or call in and say, we want to set a world's record, we want to do this. What was one of the craziest or some of the craziest things that you've ever heard of or you've witnessed?
I'll tell you, I've been doing this for 5 years now. and I can't even put my finger on the craziest. We get a lot of serious stuff coming in that unfortunately we have to reject as much as we have to reject some of the crazier things. We hear from a lot of youngsters that want to break records or think they've broken records, and more often than not, they're rejected because they think on the basis of the fact that they're children, it makes it different, but it doesn't. And it has to whatever anyone does has to compete with what's already in the book.
So it's tougher than it looks to break a Guinness Book of
It's
Records.
very difficult to break the Guinness Book of World Records.
Well, we're going to do it here today, Sid, and we thank you very much for being a part of this
My
big
pleasure.
event. And there's a lot more excitement, folks. You have a lot of time to get down here if you want to see this live. If you can't see it live, stay right where you are because we're going to bring it to you live. So right now, watch this.
Thank you, Sid.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Okay, folks, welcome back. You're watching The Invisible Man. I hope you're enjoying it, but the big news, of course, is we are live downtown Public Square, the United Way Guinness Book of World Record setting balloon release, which will take place shortly after 2 o'clock. And with me now is Dr. Nolan Ellison, President of Tri-C, and George Frazier, Director of Marketing for United Way. And George, what do you think?
This is the greatest display of being united that I have ever seen in my 42 years. It is absolutely spectacular. I am ecstatic.
It is. I've been doing television for 20 years, and I want to tell you, I've never had such a nice feeling, especially with the weather turning out the way it was, and just the community of people of Cleveland, Ohio, and the United Way. It's fantastic.
1,450,000.
Doctor?
2,500 excited, enthusiastic, energetic young people are in that bin right now, filling up 1,500,000 plus balloons to be released at 2 o'clock today. A great feeling that young people in this town really do understand what volunteerism, caring, and sharing is about.
And it's evident by the faces of the children, and with those children right now is my partner, John Rinaldi. John, if you can hear me, take it away, please.
My children, when I go up against great What school you're from? How old are you? These are all easy questions. And then why are you down here? What's the main reason you got down here?
I want to be part of a great happening in fun.
1,586,000, 1,587,000, 1,500,000. I'm telling you, I think they have it, ladies and gentlemen. I've been standing here counting, and here I have somebody here that has been here since what time this morning?
3.
Okay, and what's your name?
Steve McConville.
And what school you from?
Padua.
Padua. And listen, what made you come down here? What made you come down to blow up balloons since 3 o'clock in the morning?
I want to be part of a great happening in Cleveland.
Very good. Okay, also, what is your name?
Tanya Pim.
Okay, Tanya, show everybody what you have on your hands there. What are those?
Let's tape bandages.
Okay, and what are they for?
Therefore, you can get away from sores from your hand.
Okay, did you get any blisters?
Yeah, 3.
3? And how long have you been here since?
5 o'clock.
And where are you from?
Warrensville.
Warrensville. What grade you in?
10.
Would you do this again next year if you want to? Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Are you tired?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Chuck, as you can see, they're going strong. They're blowing them up. I still think they have the record. Back to you, Chuck.
Thank you, John. Thank you. They do have over a million and a half, John just said, in the net right now, ready to go. And George, I want to thank you for coming down. We'll be talking to you later. And Doctor, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right now, back to our program. Watch this. Right, John. And with us, you all recognize Mary Allen from our show down here at ground level. And we have a real story to tell you. This is not, we're not making this up. It's really happened. Mary Ellen bought 2 bunches of balloons to give to John and I here. She came down, and one of the bunches of balloons she had tied to her watch. And the watch opened up, and the balloons took the watch, and it's now going out east somewhere. So John and I say, if anybody finds Mary Allen's watch tied to a bunch of balloons like this, and if you return it to the station, we'll have all kind of rewards for you. Okay, thanks for coming down, Mary. Who do you have there, John?
With me, I have one of my favorite people, the man that's responsible for Chuck and I's big stomach. It's Harlan Diamond, the president of Executive Catering. Welcome, Harlan.
Thank you. Thanks, John. How you doing?
Pretty good. Harlan, what time did you guys get here today?
Well, we got here about 3 o'clock this morning, but we've been working for almost a week getting this thing ready.
And you fed everybody with food and drink and everything. Tell these people out there the amounts and quantities of food that these kids could eat.
Oh, my God. You just think in terms of 4,000 of everything, and you've got donuts, you've got cookies, you've got bagels, you've got orange juice, lemonade, iced tea, coffee, milk, chocolate milk, everything. And now we're getting ready to serve them all a box lunch.
Oh, you have a donut left for Chuck and I?
Always. Always going to have a couple extra.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Harlan.
Thanks for the great job.
President of Executive Caterers, thank you. Like I said, you still have time to get down here, but if you can't, stay right where you are, because you are about to see something at about 5 minutes after 2 that is going to be awesome. We have helicopters in the air with cameras. We have 4 different camera angles, folks. This is really something. Right now, this commercial word for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from downtown Cleveland, it's Big Chuck and Little John in front of the biggest happening around.
Okay, thank you, John. The big news, if you're watching The Invisible Man, we hope you're enjoying it, but the big news is the record-breaking, the Guinness Book of World's Record-breaking balloon release, United Way balloon release, and with us is the mastermind behind the whole affair, Mr. Treb Heining. And Treb, welcome to Cleveland.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Treb, you were responsible for the Guinness Book of Records, which now stands the 1.2 million balloon release at Disneyland in 1985, December.
That's correct. We did that one back in December, and it was the sound barrier in terms of a million. A lot of people said you can't release 1 million balloons, and once that was done, now people are thinking, well, how many more can be done?
And I noticed they stopped blowing balloons up, and that means we must be well over 1.2 million.
We are easily over 1,400,000 balloons at this point.
So that means you are going to break 2 world records in less than a year.
In less than a year, and and I'm real tired of blowing up balloons.
Okay. Hey, how much time did it take to plan this event to break a world's record like this?
It's something that has been in the planning stages since March of this year. So a lot of technical research and research through the city, permits. It's endless. It's absolutely astonishing to try and get something like this off, let alone waiting for good weather.
So this is a big plus for Cleveland.
Oh, it's something that, they predicted 70% chance of showers today, and I think this is a prime example of what United Way is trying to do in terms of saying, it's Cleveland, it's your time. It's time to say yes. It's time to say it is a happening city. We are on the move. It's no longer the butt of jokes or anything. I've been in this city now for 6 months, and I absolutely love it. My wife and I have even talked about moving here, and our friends in LA think we're nuts. But it is a wonderful place. If I had money to invest, this is where I'd be invested in.
Very, very good. Thank
Treb,
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, we were just talking to Treb, and I never did quite understand until now how the balloons were going to, the net was going to be raised. Treb, there are some large balloons on the far end. Can you tell us exactly how the net will be raised?
Right. Those are 10-foot inflatables. They're filled with helium, and the net itself will be lifted by the balloons themselves. We have about 10,000 to 15,000 pounds of lift just in the small balloons. So the big balloons are really to keep the net held up. Once the balloons start coming out from underneath the net, that will keep the net raised up.
I see.
Okay. How much stress is on that net?
Oh, probably equal the amount of stress that's on my shoulders right now.
So, do you have any other things planned for the future?
Oh, I've got